Welcome to That's Based. Happy Monday. I'm your host, as always, Caleb Salvatore, reporting from somewhere underground. We're laughing our way through the end of days. Brought to you by Outlaw Streamers and our friends over at Blood of Tyrants Wines. If you head over to drinkbloodofTyrants.com, use the promo code BASED, B-A-S-E-D, like the title of the show, you'll save 10% off your order at the checkout. They have two types of wine, both red and white. And if you go to drinkbloodofTyrants.com right now and use, or later, it doesn't matter when you do it, but if you use the promo code BASED, B-A-S-E-D, like the title of the show, you'll save 10% off your order at the checkout. They've also got the Liquid Freedom energy drink that you see pictured right there. If you're following along on YouTube or Rumble, you can also get 10% off your order at the checkout with the promo code BASED, B-A-S-E-D, like the title of the show, on that one as well. And all you got to do is go to drinkbloodofTyrants.com, use the promo code BASED, and you'll get 10% off your order at the checkout. All right, it's Unsolicited Advice. It's Monday morning. Stockholm Mia, the red face of white supremacies, found 3 stories for us. What's going on with these people today that need a little bit of help?
Got a bridesmaid, disgruntled bridesmaid. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Well, we have an announcement. Disgruntled bridesmaids are always fun. We do have an announcement. August 23rd, we will not have a live show. Or, excuse me, we will not have a Saturday show because I will be... me and Katy Perry will have something in common. I'll be waking up in Vegas because isn't that her song or is that Avril Lavigne? Okay. So we're going to be down at Radio Row I'm going to be down with some friends at Radio Row in Las Vegas. It's circa on August 21st and 22nd, down doing some live shows down there. So we will not have a Saturday show. Maybe because I'll get back Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. Maybe I'll hop on and do a little Sunday show for you, recapping everything. If there's anything we missed, I don't know how newsy those shows are going to get. I think we're just going to have a good time down there, but it'll be some fun. That'll be August 21st and 22nd. We'll be live wherever you get your shows at. Go check us out. All right. Okay, what are we doing here? Which one should I do first?
Just the order you got them. I can't remember.
All right. Well, this is going to be a good one because it's a work wife.
Yeah, we don't have any poop ones.
Okay,
today.
good. I like this. This is timely. Do you think that the CEO at the Coldplay concert called that girl he was fucking his work wife?
Yeah, probably.
It was probably his work wife. If your spouse has a work wife or a work husband that's not flamboyantly gay or like dykey lesbian, there's a problem. They're probably fucking that person. Okay, because my husband's work wife proposed to him. Oh, well, my husband has a work wife, quote unquote. They're friends who go out to lunch often and tease each other and talk about some personal things. What? What is that? Okay. She brings him homemade lunches. This is just getting weirder and weirder. And he's brought her leftover desserts that I made. It didn't bother me at first, but it feels like she has a connection to him that I don't. To make matters worse, she proposed to him to make their work relationship work. This is weird. She's going to skin you alive. She's going to skin you alive and wear your clothes like a Halloween costume, lady. This needs to be dealt with immediately. She playfully feels like he's not a real work husband. They don't have an actual work wedding. What's getting done at this company? They're having work weddings? What the fuck is... I guarantee you these people work for the federal government. Because nothing's getting done at work. That's clear. She playfully feels like he's not a real work husband. This is probably that AI company from the Coldplay concert. They're all just fucking each other. It's a free-for-all. Feels like he's not a real work husband if they don't have an actual work wedding. He thinks it's hilarious, and their manager said it's a fine excuse to throw a party out of their pizza party fund. So it's just an entire office of retards, is what I'm gathering from this. No one finds this to be inappropriate. Listen, we're going to start rolling out some new merch. The Abolish HR mugs are going to be coming soon because you watched the way that HR president destroyed that company and that man's family. More importantly, the company. But if there was ever a case where HR was needed, I feel like it's where employees start staging a work-wife wedding on the clock. You probably need HR to step in. It says they throw celebratory parties somewhat often when they ship a product or land a big client. The parties are usually a few grand in food and drinks and entertainment. So they're doing nothing. This is a money laundering scheme. Somebody's embezzling money, taking it off the top, just waiting for the whole thing to fold like a house of cards.
Is this Dunder Mifflin?
That's what it sounds like. It's Dunder Mifflin. Look, I understand like a pizza party. Every time they make a sale, they have thousands of dollars in food and drink, and evidently strippers are coming in and all this shit. Like, what are we doing here? His company's a dream come true, but I think him and his friend are taking this too far. He was planning on wearing his normal work clothes at the wedding, but there's rumors she's going to wear her wedding dress from her failed marriage. She's been divorced for 5 years. What should I do? I told him this is ridiculous, but he keeps talking me down. I'm considering showing up to respectfully voice my concerns during the if anyone has any objections part of the ceremony. That's the worst thing you can do. That's the worst thing you can do. His coworkers know me from the last Christmas party and the time I had to bring him a clean pair of pants. Is this fake?
I don't know. It might be. Some of the stories, I'm sure some of the stories that are on Reddit that we've read are fake.
So I know they'd let me into the party.
I would like to believe that they're real, though.
Yeah. So the middle of the day, so I need to take time off work, but if I can stop their marriage, maybe I can save mine. I mean, look. Clearly, this is a boundary for you, and you haven't laid that out to him in a clear enough manner. Like you've said, you're not. It's like this is weird. You need to flat out say, I am not okay with this. You need to call off your work wedding, and this is completely inappropriate. I'm not, and I know you see this with the like red pill manosphere guys or whatever. I'm not one of those guys that thinks that men and women can't be friends without wanting to fuck each other's brains out like rabid monkeys. I'm not one of those people that believes that. However, there are certain boundaries that you don't cross with friends of the opposite sex that you can with friends of the same sex. I have female friends. They'll never be in my house alone with me. You know, like it's that kind of thing. No, this is, you certainly bet your fucking ass I'm never going to stage a fake wedding with any of them like this. Yeah, you need to talk to your husband if this is real and let him know that this is a boundary that he's crossing and it's totally not okay. It's completely inappropriate. And he can either, like, I don't know if it's ultimatum time. I don't think you need to drop that nuke. But I do think you need to be like, okay, listen, dude, this is not okay. Like, we're going to have a serious problem if you fake marry another woman. Like, that's an issue. Fake marry, real marry. Unless you're getting paid to do this as an actor on television, this is not okay. Do you want to add anything to this totally real story?
I want to believe it's real.
Well, kids want to believe Santa Claus is real. So.
No, I think you need to have boundaries. Like, it's okay to have friends at work that are the opposite sex.
Sure.
But I hate the work wife, work husband. Like,
why do you need to say that?
Yeah, like, no, that's not okay. And then doing I want to know what they're actually doing at this company. Like, what does this company do? That's what I'm curious
They sell
about.
paper in central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah. Okay, next one here. My mom's mad because she didn't go to my kid's soccer game. My kid, who's 6, started soccer a month ago. Practices on Tuesdays, and the games are every Saturday. I group chatted my family and my husband's family a picture of the layout of the fields and the game schedule. I told them in advance if something would change, we would let them know. But anyone is welcome to come. I'm pretty close to my mom as my dad died when I was a baby. She's very hands-on with my 3 kids, but favors my oldest as he's the first grandkid to her. By the way, grandma being hands-on is code word for a nightmare. Overbearing, big brother type, Orwellian nightmare of a grandparent. This past Saturday, my brother decided to come to the game. I spoke to him the previous day, and he was the one who brought up going. When I spoke to my mom about her weekend plans, said she wanted to tend to her garden. It was her weekend off, no mention of the game, and I didn't mention it as I was busy trying to manage all the kids. After work and getting dinner started. Well, apparently when I was feeding the kids lunch before the game, I missed her call. Didn't check my phone. I lose it frequently as I have ADHD and 3 kids who constantly need help with things. Okay, you don't need to pause, time out. You don't need to explain why you missed calls. You guys understand this is a relatively new phenomenon. When I say relatively new, I mean like 10 years old phenomenon, having to explain why you missed calls that you weren't expecting, right? Like, this is a new thing. Once upon a time, in every single person who's listening to the show right now, in your lifetime, people couldn't constantly get a hold of each other 24/7, and it was no hard feelings. Now, if you went missing for days, that might be a different conversation. But if somebody called you at noon and you didn't get back to them till 7:30 at night, it wasn't like this great offense. It was just a normal thing. I've started doing that. I'll leave my phone. Like, if someone calls me and I'm in the middle of something, I don't answer it, because I was getting to the point where I was answering no matter who it was, and I'm like, oh, this is rude to whoever I'm talking to whatever I'm doing. I'll call them back when it's convenient to me, and if they don't answer, it's no hard feelings. But like, this whole, we're going down very dangerous, a very dangerous path right now to this whole thing where we expect to be in constant communication with everybody 24/7. This is a problem, and it's costing people their privacy. But, okay. So it says, I get to the game a few minutes late, and I meet up with my brother. That was a long-winded way of saying you don't need to explain why you missed a call and didn't return it right away. It says, I get to the game a few minutes late, and meet up with my brother. He's helping my kids with something when my phone starts ringing, and he answers it. And my mom is screaming at him to put me on. I ask her what's up. She accuses me of not inviting her or letting her know the schedule, and it's my fault she didn't come as I didn't answer the phone call, which she was going to question the time of the game. I apologized about missing the call. Why wouldn't you just text her the schedule? Wouldn't that be the move? Just like send the schedule over?
I think she did.
She did. Oh, so the mom's a fucking retard, is what you're saying.
Yeah, in the beginning, I think she said she did.
Okay. So it says, it's my fault she didn't come as I didn't answer the phone call, which she was going to question the time of the game. I apologized about missing the call, but going into detail about how we're running behind, she just started screaming at me. Then she goes, you can tell your child it's your fault I didn't go, and then hung up on me. A few hours later, I tried texting her explaining that I was sorry. No. Here's where you fucked up. You didn't need to do that. You should not have done that. Because when I was selling cars, the thing I learned is that whoever blinks first loses. So what that means is when we would get the paperwork to put down, the paperwork for what your numbers were going to be, how much money you needed down, what your monthly payments and interest rate were going to be, we'd put that down in front of them and we shut up. We didn't say a word. Because the second we did, we waited for them to talk. The second we go, or I can go back and talk to my manager, it's over. We lost. Right? This is the same thing. She freaked out on you. She needs to apologize to you. Not the other way around. You reaching out to her gives her all the power. And it tells her she can do this shit again. And she has no respect for you. I don't care who you are. If you say some shit like that to me, I'm not speaking to you. You can reach out to me and apologize. We're not having that conversation. It says, I tried texting her explaining I was sorry I missed her. There's plenty of other games in the future, and that I did send everyone the schedule. No response. Told my brother that I did it on purpose because I didn't want her going. Well, if you're going to act like that, I can see why they might not want you going. So maybe that's why you're a little insecure. I don't even know how to proceed. We haven't talked since the call. I already apologized for missing her call, but I don't feel like I did anything wrong. She tends to get mad at us frequently. I'm very stressful as I have a newborn, a 2-year-old, and a 6-year-old. Life is hard right now. I'm struggling with everything. Yeah, she can contact you, and you shouldn't have apologized for shit. You don't have to apologize for missing a phone call. You sent her over the schedule. If she's too much of a dumbass to read it, then that's on her. You make time for the things that are important to you. She's the one who fucked up. You have no reason to apologize. Am I missing anything here?
Nope. I think it would be one thing if she didn't give her the schedule at all.
Yeah.
But no, she clearly sent it over, let everyone know. I don't know. There's nothing more.
Yeah.
She should have done.
No.
The grandma should have been the one keeping track.
Yeah. Stop apologizing to people who wrong you. Especially when you have nothing to do with what happened. Like, stop doing that. It's fucking generation of weak, soft pleasers has to stop. You guys get trampled on by everybody. You get trampled on by your boss. You get trampled on by your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife. You get trampled on by your kids, by your parents, by people at the grocery store. Stop fucking apologizing for shit that's not your fault. Start being more assertive. You don't have to, not everyone has to be as much of an asshole as me, but stop taking people's shit and stop apologizing. Stop apologizing unless you genuinely messed up. I would be willing to bet that 2/3 of the quote-unquote apologies you see issued by people, whether they're made in public or in private, whether it's celebrities saying, I did this and that wrong and I've learned, or if it's people like relatives, family members apologizing to people, I would be willing to bet that 2/3 of them are unwarranted. 2/3 of the apologies are people apologizing that had nothing to apologize for, and in many cases were probably actually the wronged party who should have gotten the apology. But because everyone cares more about making the peace nowadays than what's actually right and wrong, you bunch of fucking pussies go out and do this. It irritates me. Okay, let's do this last one here. This last one's brought to you by Hot Salt. Hot Salt, you go to firecracker.farm and use the promo code BASED, BASED, like the title of the show. You'll save 10% off your order. At the checkout, Hot Salt is a combination of Mediterranean sea salt, scorpion pepper, ghost pepper, and Carolina Reaper, and it goes great on everything. We throw it on margaritas. We throw it on French fries. I make this like Chipotle, these homemade Chipotle bowls that Mia thinks are better than actual Chipotle, but for some reason she still wants to spend $30 on Chipotle on random Friday nights. It beats me, but we put it in that. And then we go to firecracker.farm and we use the promo code BASED, like the title of the show. We save 10% off our order on Hot Salt. Hot Salt is made on a family farm with love right here in the good old US of A, so you don't got to worry about tariffs or any of that international bullshit holding up your order. Firecracker.farm with the promo code BASED, BASED, like the title of the show. You'll save 10% off your order at the checkout. Remember, it's firecracker.farm, like a farm where things grow, not .com, .org, or .net. Use that promo code BASED, BASED, like the title of the show. You'll save yourself 10% off your order, and you'll make me a little bit of cashola to spend when I'm in Vegas. Go do that. I got a date with a blackjack table. All right. Last one. Asking to pay for a trip I did not attend. Hi, all. I, 25 female, am part of a bridal party for a close friend whose wedding is coming up soon. A few months ago, the maid of honor planned a bachelorette party in another country. That's always good. It's always we always talk about like Hawaii and like those destination weddings or bachelor parties or whatever. It's one thing to go to Vegas or Nashville or a place like that, but another country. I hope it's Mexico. Even Mexico's pushing it because not everyone has a passport and not everyone can get one in time. And of course, it's the maid of honor, who I'm sure is just a steaming cunt, by the way this sounds. From the very beginning, I let him know I wouldn't be able to attend due to financial reasons. International travel and the associated costs aren't in my budget right now. Everyone was understanding at the time, or so I thought. The trip happened recently, and the days after the group got back to the States, the maid of honor sent a message in the group chat, specifically the one that included only the bridal party members who did not attend the trip. She called them out, asking each of us to send $300 so the bride wouldn't have to pay her share of the trip. Hey, dumbass, what part of I don't have the money do you understand? How about this? I can send you $300 so the bride can pay for her share of the trip, or I can show up to the wedding in a nice dress because that was my budget for it. Does that make sense? So I can send this $300 so the bride doesn't have to pay for her share of the trip, but I'm showing up in the cheapest piece of shit I found at Walmart. I'm showing up to your wedding in sweats. Sweats and a tank top, no bra. Nipples showing, everything. Like a black woman at Walmart. We're going full on ratchet right now. This completely blindsided me. I never agreed to contribute. Not all black women, by the way. You know what type of black women I'm talking about. Stop with the racist allegations, you guys. Okay, so it says, this completely blindsided me. I never agreed to contribute financially to something I wasn't attending, and at no point before or during the planning did anyone say anything about splitting the bride's costs among people who weren't going. If they had, I would have made it clear that I couldn't afford that either. By the way, plenty of white women that do that as well. That was wrong of me to narrow it down to one race. Trash knows no color. That was my fault, and I apologize for it. Said if they had, I wouldn't have made it clear. I would have made it clear that I couldn't afford that either. Now I'm feeling really weird about the whole thing. On one hand, I get that people want to treat the bride, and if I'd been part of the trip, I might have chipped in with the others to cover some of the expenses. But to ask for the money after the fact from people who didn't even go feels unfair and borderline manipulative. I haven't responded to the message yet, and I don't want to cause drama, but I also feel like I shouldn't have to pay for something I didn't attend, especially when I was up front from the beginning. Here's what I'd do, because I got a couple theories on this. I got one prevailing theory, and Mia, let me know if you agree with me on this. I would reach out to the bride and be like, hey, your maid of honor is asking for me to send like $300. I can't afford this. It's just not in the cards right now. And see how she reacts. Because she'll react one of two ways. The first way she'll react is, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. I didn't know she was doing whatever, right? The second way she'll react is, what are you talking about? Because I think the maid of honor spent a little too much on the credit cards on this international trip. And she went a little over the budget, and now she's trying to scam you guys. What do you think? Am I too cynical?
I think there's also a third option where the bride gets upset and is like, well, you didn't go, so you should at least contribute a
Correct.
little bit.
I didn't go.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I didn't go. Why should I pay for something I didn't do?
But where the bride gets upset at the bridesmaid for not wanting to pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So you think that's a possibility.
Where the bride will side with the maid of honor.
Ugh. Gross.
But what I think she should do, most likely what she should do, because most of the time, I feel like a lot of the times, like the stories about the terrible brides being like bridezillas with their bridesmaids and stuff, I feel like those are a lot of the times like over exaggerations and not as common.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like what she should do is talk to the bride, because there's a chance she may not even know the maid of honor. And
the bride?
No, the bridesmaid.
Oh yeah, okay.
There's a chance she may not even like know her. Like she just knows her because they're in the
and
wedding
she's shaking
party.
a stranger down for $300.
Yeah, so she should talk to the bridesmaid, let her know like, hey, I can't afford this. And if they're like actually friends, bridesmaid or the bride would be like, that's fine, you know, like she would understand, just like any normal human being would.
Yeah. I mean, look, the bride was wrong to go on a trip that she couldn't afford to pay for herself.
Yeah, I don't think she should have expected.
Yeah, if that third one is the case there.
Yeah.
The bride was wrong to go on a trip she couldn't afford. You know, you got a wedding coming up. Those are not cheap. If you couldn't afford to pay for it all in cash, you shouldn't have gone. Like when I had my bachelor party, I paid my flight, my hotel, everything I paid for. I mean, people like my friends bought me drinks, but all my food, everything. I didn't ask for a dime. Yeah, like I said, I had a couple people buy me like a shot or whatever because I was getting married, but dude, that was the extent of it. I was not under the illusion that anyone was going to pay for any of my stuff. That was all money that I had out of pocket. So I don't understand why you would take this lavish vacation. Like I said, it's not like she went to Nashville or Vegas. Why would you take this lavish vacation, not lavid. Lavid's not a word, is it? This lavish vacation and expect people that didn't even go to foot the bill. That's a spoiled princess.
I don't know like the situation further than that, but I don't think she was like, I feel like the maid of honor told her like, hey, we'll cover it.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think maybe like the maid of honor got in a little over her head with everything, and now she's like, hey, you guys have to pay even though you didn't come.
Right.
So I'm guessing there's a chance the bride doesn't even know.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because if the bride didn't even reach out, I'm assuming there's a chance she doesn't even know.
That could be the case.
So I think she needs to reach out to the bride, like let her know what's going on and
True.
say, hey, I don't have this money.
True.
And if she's actually a good friend or family member or whatever she is, she should understand, hopefully.
Right. Right. Well, there it is. Don't take international bachelorette parties or bachelor parties that you can't afford. That's a good way to wrap it up with some sage advice there. Cheat on your taxes, not your spouse, and stay based.